All right, good morning, guys. As a general reminder, I'm sure all the coaches have said it, but just know that you're muted and you can unmute yourself if you need to say something. But for today, we're going to be doing the hero workout Lawrence Virgilio. It's for time. You're starting off with 50 Russian swings, then 50 sit-ups, then 50 double unders, 25 Russian swings, 25 sit-ups, 25 double unders, 12 Russian swings, 12 sit-ups, 12 double unders, 6 Russian swings, 6 sit-ups, 6 double unders, 3 Russian swings, 3 sit-ups, 3 double unders. So for this workout, technically RX is going to be a 50-pound bell for guys. For those of you that don't have that heavy of a kettlebell or don't have a kettlebell, you can use a dumbbell or any odd object. I took aside a couple of things that you could use. So for example, if you have a water bottle, if you fill it up, it's going to be significantly lighter, but at least it's something that you could use to swing. If you have a dumbbell, you can also use that. You're pretty much just going to have to overhand grip it like that, but it's something that allows you to swing something a little heavier. So you might want to keep that in mind when we take out equipment. After that, 50 sit-ups, pretty simple. I would just make sure that you guys have like a rolled up t-shirt or a towel for that to act as an ab mat. And then for the double unders, if you have a jump rope, great. It's going to be the regular 50 double unders or 50 single unders if you don't have. If you don't have a jump rope, then you're just going to grab a broomstick and we're going to go with lateral hops. If you can't do any jumping in your house, then instead you're going to be doing planking shoulder taps. So those are going to be the variations for the double unders. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. I'm not quite sure how long this will take. If you have a heavy object, those Russian swings obviously aren't going to be unbroken. But also if you just have like an awkward object to hold, like a water bottle, that's also going to be challenging to do unbroken. So thinking this is like a 20, 25 minute workout. But yeah, we're going to get into the warm up is a somewhat heavy-ish object. We're going to be doing glute bridges with it, so it doesn't have to be anything too crazy for now. Ideally, it's going to be your workout object, but if not, that's okay. So we just need that heavier weighted object and a jump rope or a broomstick. All right, guys, once you have that nearby, I'm going to wait a second for everyone to collect that. All right, so we're going to start off nice and simple. If you have a jump rope, you're going to give me 100 single unders. If you don't have a jump rope, you're going to give me 100 lateral hops. And if you can't do that because you can't jump in your apartment, you're going to give me 100, well, not 100, but 60 planking shoulder taps. All right, guys, when you're done with that, you can put the jump rope off to the side. We're going to get into some bootstrap or walkouts. This is going to start to warm up the core and shoulders and stretch out the low back. So we're going to come into the bottom of our squat. From here, we're going to extend the hips while still holding on to the toes. You can't extend your knees all the way, that's fine, as long as you get a stretch in your hamstrings and low back. After you come down to the bottom of your squat, you're going to walk your hands out past your head, so a little further than a plank. And then you're going to walk back into the bottom of your squat and extend your legs. Let's do that for 8 reps. Nice and slow, guys. This is more just to get the shoulders warm and to really get your hamstrings comfortable. Try to keep your chin slightly tucked as you're doing the walkout so you're not pinching the back of your neck. All right, guys, after 7 of those, you're gonna have a seat on the ground. We're gonna get into some glute bridges. So I'm just gonna tell you what we're doing first because it involves a pause and then we're gonna get right into it. So you're gonna get your glutes nice and close to your heels. You're gonna raise your hips. We're gonna hold this for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, staying in this position, you're just gonna extend one leg at a time for 12 alternating reps. I'm gonna time you guys, so I'll let you know when 30 seconds is up. We're going in 3, 2, 1, and raise the hips. Fifteen more seconds. And 12 alternating leg extensions, go. Make sure those hips stay raised as you're extending the legs. And after your 12, you guys can stay seated on the ground. All right, guys, from here, we're gonna get into some rocking sit-ups. This is also gonna warm up the low back and the core. So I'm gonna start in the seated position. I'm gonna tuck my knees into my chest. I'm gonna try and keep my chin tucked as well. From here, I'm gonna rock back, let my low back come off the ground, and then I'm gonna come into a straddle and reach my hands forward. We're gonna do that for 12 reps, and on your 12th rep, you're gonna sit in that straddle and count to 10. All right, guys, go. Try to be forceful and throw your arms forward like you would in a sit-up. Remember to hold that straddle at the end. All right, guys, and from there, we're gonna get into some planking shoulder taps. So I'm gonna get into a palm plank. I'm gonna straddle my stance a little bit wider than I would for a regular plank. And then from there, I'm gonna go opposite hand, opposite shoulder. Let's go for 20 alternating reps. Try not to shift the hips. All right, guys, after your 20 alternating reps, let's grab that heavy or odd object that I talked about earlier in the warm-up. We're gonna be using them for glute bridges. So I'm just gonna be using a kettlebell for this portion. Just like before, I'm gonna get my glutes nice and close to my heels. I'm gonna place the object on my hips. I can hold on to the object or have my hands on the ground. But from here, I'm gonna go with 12 weighted glute bridges. At the top of my last glute bridge, I'm gonna count to 15. All right, guys, go. All right, guys. When you're done with those glute bridges, we're going to finish off with some scat push-ups and some scat shoulder circles. So I'm going to come into my push-up position. I'm going to pinch my shoulder blades together, pull my chest towards the floor with my elbows locked out, and then I'm going to push away from the floor and round my upper back. After 10 of those, I'm going to draw 10 small circles forward with my shoulders and then 10 small circles backwards. So let's go with 10 scat push-ups and then 10 shoulder circles in each direction. Try and keep those elbows locked out for the scat push-ups and the shoulder circles. All right, guys, when you're done with that, let's grab the object that you're going to use for the workout. Ideally, it's going to be a kettlebell, if not something that's heavy or something that's just awkward to move. If you do have the kettlebell, again, it's going to be 50 pounds. I would also use a dumbbell or a heavy water bottle if that's all that you have. Possibly a heavy textbook too, or if you stuff a bag or a backpack, then you can kind of use the straps to swing it. So that's also an option, but whatever you're using, it should be slightly heavier than the warm-up weight that we did for the glute bridges. So let's just grab that. All right, guys, so I'm just going to be using the standard kettlebell to demonstrate, but whatever you're using right now, we're just going to place that object in between the feet, widen our stance. We're going to grab the object and set our lats, and we're just going to go with 10 deadlifts. If you're using a backpack, make sure that you're holding the very bottom and not just the straps for this. So let's go with 10 deadlifts, guys. All right, after our 10 deadlifts, we're going to move on to some partial swings. This is just to get you guys used to the movement, especially if you have an odd object. So I'm going to start with the bell in front of me. I'm going to hike it behind, and then I'm just going to swing up to the belly button. And the focus here is on pushing through with the hips and really making sure that you're keeping the lats engaged as you're swinging, even though it's only up to belly button height. Let's go with 10 swings to belly button height, guys. Now, if you're using a backpack, you can grab the strap. I would have them on a shorter length, though. That way that object doesn't get too far away from you. All right, guys, and from there, we're going to move on to the full Russian swing. So all I'm doing now is swinging just a bit higher. So it's going to be to chin height. This time, the arms are going to get just a little bit further away from me, but I still want to keep that lat engagement. Again, for those of you that have an odd object and not an actual kettlebell, I would slow down the movement a little bit more, especially if you stuffed a bag, because that tends to get a little lopsided. But let's go with 10 swings right now. All right, guys, after your 10 swings, let's grab either a towel or an ab mat if you have one. You're gonna wanna have something rolled up if you don't have an ab mat. So let's grab that right now. Again, it can be a towel, it can be a t-shirt. This is just something that will act in place of an ab mat. All right, guys, so once we have that, we're just gonna roll it up. We're gonna place it behind our low back like we would for like we would with a regular ab mat. You're gonna start with your arms and shoulders on the floor. You're just gonna swing up and touch your toes. Let's go with 10 sit-ups. All right, guys, and then after your 10 sit-ups, we're gonna go back to that jump rope or that broomstick one more time. If you have double unders and you have a jump rope, you're gonna give me 25 double unders. If not, you're gonna give me either 25 lateral hops or 20 planking shoulder taps. All right, guys, I'm gonna go over the workout one more time, take any questions if you have them, and then we're gonna get started. So again, it's Lawrence Virgilio. We're doing for time, you're starting off with 50 Russian swings, then 50 sit-ups, then 50 double unders or lateral hops or planking shoulder taps. After that, it's gonna be 25 Russian swings, 25 sit-ups, 25 double unders, lateral hops or planking shoulder taps, 12 Russian swings, 12 sit-ups, 12 double unders, 6 Russian swings, 6 sit-ups, 6 double unders, 3 Russian swings, 3 sit-ups, 3 double unders. Ideally, the beginning, you're gonna wanna go a little bit slower. I would try and break up the Russian swings if the object gets heavy or if you're starting to get a little fatigued. Probably 2 sets of 25. If not, I would go with sets of 15 and then a set of 5 at the end. Sit-ups should be slow and steady, but unbroken. And then same thing for the double unders. That should be done pretty quick. The next 25 Russian swings, you could probably get that done in one set, maybe a set of 15 and 10 if you need to. And then from there, 12 Russian swings should be unbroken. Once we get to the 6 and 3, that should pretty much be a sprint since the rep scheme there is minimal. I'm going to be timing you guys on my phone. You guys can also time yourselves if you like, but I'll let you know when we're 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, and when you're done, feel free to unmute yourself and let me know, and I'll tell you your time for the workout. Any questions? All right, guys, if you're all good, find some space. We're going to be starting off with the Russian swing. So again, the rep scheme is 50 of everything, then 25 of everything, then 12 of everything, then 6, then 3. We're starting off with the 50 Russian swings in 3, 2, 1, and go. Just the chin height on those Russian swings, guys. After your 50 Russian swings, we're going to be doing 50 sit-ups. And then after your 50 sit-ups, you're going to be moving on to either 50 double unders, 50 lateral hops, or 50 planking shoulder taps. After your 50 double unders, you guys are moving on to 25 Russian swings, 25 sit-ups, and then 25 double unders. And then after your sets of 25, 12 Russian swings, 12 sit-ups, and 12 double unders. Then after your sets of 12, it's going to be 6 Russian swings, 6 sit-ups, and 6 double unders. Then after your sets of 6, 3 Russian swings, 3 sit-ups, and 3 double unders. When you guys are done, don't leave. We're going to do a quick cool down. When you guys are done, you can have a seat on the ground. If you're still working, keep working. All right, nice. Both of you guys finished a lot faster than I thought this workout would take, so that's awesome. We're going to go through just a body weight cool down. So you don't need any equipment for this. We're going to start off nice and simple with some lying iron crosses. So you're gonna lie down on the ground with your chest facing upwards. You're gonna bring your hands out to the side. I'm gonna start with my right foot. So I'm gonna pick up my right foot, drop across to the left side, and then I'm gonna look behind me. I'm gonna come up, then I'm gonna switch sides. I'm gonna pick up the left foot, go across to the right, look behind me. So let's go with 14 alternating iron crosses. Just try to get a stretch in the low back at the bottom. You can pause for a second at the bottom of each rep if you need to. All right, after your iron crosses, we're gonna get into some scorpion kicks. So this time I'm gonna lie down, chest flat on the ground. I'm gonna extend my arms out to the side. I'm gonna start with my right foot. I'm gonna pick up my right foot, try to cross it back to my left. I'm gonna pull my right hand in, push into the floor and look at the ceiling so I get a stretch in my shoulder. I'm gonna come back to start, then I'm gonna go left foot to right hand, pull my hand in, push into the floor. Let's go with 14 alternating scorpion kicks. Just like the last one, you can pause at the bottom to get a little bit more of a stretch. All right, guys, and when you're done with that, we're gonna do just one more and then I'll let you go. We're gonna start in a down dog. We're just gonna go from a down dog to a cobra. So you're gonna drop your hips, look to the right, look to the left, push back up into a down dog, get a stretch in that low back, drop the hips, right, left. Do that for 12 reps. All right, guys, once you're done with those down dog to cobras, you're done with the workout, that's all I have for you today. Stay healthy, stay safe. I will see you guys again on Tuesday if you take class then. Nice job.
Bye. Thank you.
No problem. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.